Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Real quick one for you today. Back on Mars, back in Gale Crater. Another quick game of interplanetary I Spy going on here. Now, this was first pointed out, this particular skull, by Eric Collingridge. Here he is on Facebook. Here's his original post, and he's got the raw image here with a little clip he's taken out and enlarged, and even a comparison, which is really cool. So full credit to Eric for this. I did not discover this. This is, I'm as far as I know, first posted by him on the net. So he gets full credit. Many thanks to him for letting me mention this and use it in this video. So great stuff. Let's crack straight on with it. I will have links to his page and also his YouTube channel as well below in the description. Okay, so let's crack on with it. This is Sol 550, so we're going right back a couple of years now to the sort of towards the end of the first year, I think, on Mars with the Curiosity Rover, and we have this image here, which actually has got lots of weird stuff in, but the quality, as usual, isn't very good. But luckily, this particular skull, and it is a skull, a humanoid skull, is right near the bottom of the image, which means it's only about 8 feet away from the actual rover camera. Now the rover camera is 7 foot up in the air, the particular mass cam. So what I did to get an idea of scale for this, because the mass cam is looking down from 7 feet diagonally downwards, and where my cursor is here is the bottom of the image and is approximately 7 feet away from the rover camera. Now this particular skull is about 1 or 2 feet further back from that, probably about 1.5 feet or maybe 2 feet there. So it's about 9 feet, 8 or 9 feet away, this particular thing here, from the actual camera. So what I did is I got a 12-inch ruler and I put it about 8.5 feet away in this room I'm in now, and I stood on the chair to give myself a sense of perspective and height, the same height as the rover camera. Because unless you're a basketball player, you're not going to see things from that perspective. And using that method, I estimate this skull here to be somewhere between 5 and sort of 8 inches long, okay? Probably nearer 6 or 6.5, 7 maybe. Hard to say exactly, but that is an approximation. And of course, the camera may be zoomed slightly as well. We don't know the level of zoom on the camera, so there's always that ambiguity to the measurement. Okay, let's crack straight on with it. I've got them up in here. I've already done some enhancements, but I will put these enhanced images and raw images in at the end of the video for you to see, and you can pause it and have a really good butchers at it. Okay, so let's show you the raw image first. There's the raw clip here, and you can see before anything's done to this that there is a skull here, which has got a very light part to the back of it here, which looks like it's been bleached by the sun. And you can see eyeballs here, one here and one here. You can see a nasal cavity just there. You can see teeth here and the jaw bone here, and something very odd next to it. Now, I absolutely have no idea what this thing next to it is. It may just be a rock, or it could be a carved artifact. It could be almost anything. It's very, very strange. In fact, in some ways, it's more strange than the skull itself. But I will show you the enhancements. I won't take too long with this. Now, I took various steps with this to enhance it and clean it up, and I'll just flick through them. Here's one. Now, what I've done here is I've added some shadow to outline it, just so that you can actually see it clearer. Now, of course, if this was a normal photograph, which it's not, then this is more what it would actually look like, because, as I keep saying, these images have an orange filter and an infrared filter on them, so they are not normal photographs. And you have to actually enhance the image to actually make it look like a real photo. So what I'll go through the stages here where I've darkened it and lightened it to bring out the actual detail that's already there. I'm not adding detail, I'm just enhancing the detail that's already there. Okay, and you can already see here quite clearly the nasal cavity. I'll zoom in a bit, and you can see a tuft of hair sticking up here, white hair, just there, and you can see teeth here, a a very clear jaw, and it's very green as well. A lot of green comes out on this. In fact, you can see the green in the raw image. Now, this may be the skin, or this may be some kind of algae growing on the skull. It looks like it still has fleshy material, some fleshy material left on it, not much. But what intrigued me was this structure in the forehead. It looks like it's been damaged here. But this may be hair, but it may also be the actual structure of the cranium itself, almost like brain coral. Now, this is really odd. Let me show you some later enhancements. I've got some brighter and more enhanced. Let's go to that one. And I've basically cleaned the image up, and I've added a little bit of shadow and highlighting to it. But I really haven't done much, because you can see it quite clearly in the raw image. So I'm not making this up. You can download the raw image from the link below and have a look at it yourself, and just use a one-step photo fix on it or something like that on Photoshop, and this is what you will get. You will see this, and the thing next to it looks very strange indeed. I don't know what this is. It really, any ideas, any of you out there that think you know may know what that is, please leave a comment, because I have absolutely no idea. My main focus is on this thing, and you can see there are incisors. There's what look like 4 incisors here, front teeth. There looks to be canine teeth here and molars at the back here. And pay attention to this area here. We've got these structures sticking down here where the ear may have been. Okay, pay attention to that. Let me show you the later enhancement, because I've actually, that's my final one, where I've really brightened it up. I've added lots of brightness to that just to really show it up. You can see these structures here, just behind the jaw. Now, Eric was very clever with this, and he actually, in his post, which I'll show you again, he put this image from the Mars Attacks film in there, and it is very, very similar indeed. And one thing that struck me when I did the same, I downloaded some images from that film and clipped them. I think this is a model actually, this one here. Very similar indeed. You have this brain-like structure to the skull. You have the green tint to it. You have a similar nose and bulbous eyes sticking out of the exoskeleton, if you want to call it that. And you have these structures sticking down here like gills. Okay? Those are gills, apparently. And they are very similar to what we have here, which says what to us? What does that actually say? In fact, it shows a bit better on this one. Let's go to that one. It's a bit darker. You can see them a bit better. It's a bit vague, I appreciate that, but this is only a 2 meg image to start with, 2 megapixel image, so the detail isn't brilliant. Even though this is quite close to the camera, it's still probably over 8 feet away. But things never really get much closer than that to the mass cam. That's about as close as they get. And you can see these gill-like structures behind the jaw. Are they gills? Maybe. Could be an ear, could be some weird sort of ear structure still left behind. This is obviously freeze-dried. The eyes, it did occur to me, may not be like human eyes at all. They may have a bony sort of eye that can survive when the rest of the flesh on the skull has rotted away. So, I mean, there are types of creature that have a sort of bony, sort of armoured part to the eye, like certain types of reptiles, I think. They have a different structure. So that may be what we're seeing here, but there are creatures that have been found on Earth that were mummified, like the ones in Antarctica, like seals, which have been dated at over 6,500 years old, and they still have eyes where they've been frozen and freeze-dried. So on Mars, I'd expect the same, but even older. This may well be 10,000 years old. It could be 12,000. It could be 25,000 years old. We really don't know. It does get very cold up there at night, -30, and even in the summer, -20 or 30 at night. In the winter, an awful lot colder than that, about -90 in this area, even on the equator. So these things are frozen and probably become freeze-dried very quickly. Okay, so that was that. There are 1 or 2 other little things here which may or may not be skulls. I'll quickly show you those. there was this thing, but this is near the back of the image, and it's a terrible, terrible quality in this image. As you can see, there's nothing to be gained from that whatsoever, and I just very quickly enhanced it like I normally do, and there looks to be an eye socket here and some teeth here perhaps. This looks like some sort of animal skull, but unfortunately it's way too damaged to determine what that may be. There are also these two things here. Now this may or may not be some bones or animal skulls, but this just looked very, very strange to me, and I'll show you the enhancement of that very quickly. Where is it? There we go, we got it just here. There we go. And also very, very poor quality near the back of the image, so there's not very many pixels covering this part of the image, but these details were really, really strange. I have absolutely no idea what these are, but they look very strange, whether they're carved or just random rocks that with maybe a bit of algae growing on them. There's lots of greens in here, as you can see. This may well be some sort of organic growth on some rocks here. This looks almost like fungi or some kind of plant growth up here. Really, really strange indeed. There's almost sort of worm-like structures in here and strange stuff. But as I said, the image quality is not great. But luckily, this particular skull, let's go to enhancement there, is quite near the rover. It's quite large. I estimate it to be, like I said, around 7 inches long, maybe a bit less, something like that. So it's almost human-sized, not full-size human skull, humanoid. Like our skulls tend to be male skulls about 9 inches, female about 7 or 8 inches. So you know it's within the realm of normal size for a human, which I thought was very interesting, because many of the other alien skulls that I've found and other people have found are very, very large or very, very small. This one is actually normal sort of humanoid size or human size. So there we go, guys. I'll put some nice close-ups in of that at the end for you to really study, and I'll put some more comparisons in there as well. Okay, and here's that again, just to show the similarity. You have that strange structure to the skull, what look like gills here, and big googly eyes. Smoking gun artifact, this one. This is going to be one of the top I've ever seen, which is why I felt compelled to make the video. So fair shout to Eric on this one, full credit to him. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon.